Right, good morning or good day if you're watching the replay of this. My name's Tony Little. I am the lecturer for ICTE200 for the distance learning students. And I'd like to welcome all of those here for the session today. See, we've got a few people already. Galaxy J7 Neo, it's a very interesting name. Welcome, Johan. Nice to see you here. Lebo, Liana, Mafalache, which is a great name. I like that. Mandy, Miriam, Merlin, another great name, some great names here. Nikita is a regular customer, I think. Patricia, I'm not sure what Patricia that is, and Tamsin, welcome everybody. I would like to get cracking with the session because we might run out of time and there's a lot to get through. So I'm going to close this participants list for me. I'll bring up the chat so that you guys can post questions in the chat and I can have a look at them while we're going along. Okay. Right, I need to share my screen. I'll tell you why I'm doing that. I would like to go over the quizzes that you guys did this week. There are some great congratulations in order. Many of you scored 10 out of 10, which is fantastic. It tells me that you're working through the content with your textbook, with the ECI page, and with the resources that you find on the World Wide Web. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to anyone who scored above 8, I would say. The tests are not easy. They require you to go and do a bit of experimenting to find the solutions. So very well done to those of you who scored very well on the quiz. To the people who didn't score so well, hopefully it's a lesson and you can go and back. I'm logged in as a student now and I'm going to go and back to the quiz and see where I went wrong. Now that the closing date has passed, I'm able to go and review my answers and get some feedback. So let's look at the Excel quiz, for example. I'll go and click on that. It says I finished my attempt. I submitted my attempt on Monday, the 20th of April, and I scored 0. So I'm going to go and review my answers and see where I went wrong. Read the following statement, and then I get this nice bit of feedback here. It says the right answer was this, and here's the explanation for why that was the answer. So I hope that is helpful to you guys in getting together your responses and improving your knowledge about Word and Excel. So let's go back to the ICTE200 ECI page. That was the first thing I wanted to do, was give you a bit of feedback about the 2 quizzes. I've got 3 other items on my list here for today. The first one is the new things on our page. The first one is this callback scheduler. Now, there's been a callback scheduler on our page since we started, but I've now added the option to Zoom, that we can have a one-on-one Zoom meeting with each other here. Okay, so if you would like to book a slot, I've got slots on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays for the distance learning students, and they are available, from mid-morning to after lunch. So you guys can just click on a book slot here and include your telephone number if you want me to phone you back, or we can have a Zoom session. I'll email you a Zoom link and we can have a one-on-one chat about any issues that you're having. So hopefully that will help you. I'm also available on email, tonyl@embury.ac.za. I'm also available on the messaging platform on ECI. So if you send me a message, I will respond to you typically within 12 hours, I'd say. I'm also available, what is the other way I'm available? On the discussion forum, I'm quite active there. So if you ask a question on the discussion forum, I'll get back to you. Don't be scared to ask questions. I'll try not to make fun of you. Okay, let's move on. Those are the new items. Oh, the one other new item on our ICTE200 page is this item here under the study units. The last item here is a new item that I put up a few weeks ago. And this is all about how to prepare for the portfolio. It's called portfolio preparation. Now, obviously the portfolio is probably the most important part of the assessment for this unit or for this module. And it counts for 50% of your final mark for this module. Therefore, it's important to follow the instructions for this assessment very carefully. You have to pass with at least 50%. Okay. Follow the instructions on the assessment guide. You can find the assessment guide on the ICTE200 page. If you click on that page, you'll see the assessment guide download link is up here right near the top of the page. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the portfolio preparation page. You can find that assessment guide and refer to that and use the rubric inside the assessment guide as a guide when you are completing your portfolio yourself. Okay. Why? Because we use this rubric. The people who mark your portfolio will use that rubric. So if you can stick to the guidelines of the rubric, then you will do very well in this task. Okay. There are some typing errors that snuck through in the assessment guide, and those are outlined on this page, portfolio preparation page. Right, getting to the meat and potatoes. This portfolio will be submitted as 4 separate files. You need to submit an Excel spreadsheet with your student number .xlsx, that's the type of file. You need to submit a 2D design drawing. You need to submit a PowerPoint presentation. And finally, a Word document. The Word document is in the form of a lesson plan that I have posted on the ECI page. That you can find in 2 places. You can find it, let me go and show you quickly, on the ICTE200 page. You can find that under Study Unit 4, Microsoft Word. I've got it right at the top of the page here. You can download it there. Otherwise, you can find it inside the portfolio portal itself. Okay, if I go and open the portfolio portal, you'll see a link to the lesson plan that you need to download and edit for this part of the portfolio. Right, let's go back to this portfolio preparation page. It's a very important page. There are 4 Turnitin assignment portals on the ECI page, clearly marked for each of the above files. Okay. The due dates are different for each part. Firstly, produce your Excel spreadsheet, and you're going to fill that with at least 10 fictional learners in a fictional class. Okay. There's a typing error in the assessment guide. The rubric for the Excel part should read, please type your name, surname, and student number. The assessment guide says student email address, which is incorrect. You just put your student number into that cell B2. Okay. The second thing is the 2D design drawing, and I'm going to get on to 2D design during this presentation today. There's an important typing error there. The page size for the portfolio drawing that you are going to be drawing must be A3. I've had a few queries from students going, this 3D shaped net that you'd like me to design doesn't fit onto the A4 page that is stipulated in the assessment guide. Unfortunately, that's a typing error that went through our processes and slipped by. It wasn't a change that I made, but it wasn't implemented in the final version. So that page must be set to A3, okay, inside 2D design. The third part is your PowerPoint presentation. You need to be able to export picture, the drawing that you made in 2D design into and import it into PowerPoint, into your presentation. So you do need to be able to export your drawings from 2D design as a JPEG. And I have put up notes on how to do that on the ECI page under the Unit 5 page, the computer-aided design page. Okay. Upload DTD file to the 2D design Turnitin portal, and then export a JPEG of that same drawing, and you're going to use that inside your PowerPoint presentation. Again, a small typing error there. It says A style, which is incorrect. It should read an Embry style reference. I suppose in this modern age, it should say Stadio style reference. Finally, the last thing, the fourth thing that you're going to do for your portfolio is the Word part of the assignment. Okay. And that is also going to include a JPEG of the drawing that you did in the second part, the drawing part of this task. and you're also going to link a YouTube video. Upload that file. Your plagiarism report percentage will be very high for some of these tasks. You don't have to worry about that because the results are very similar and you're working off that lesson plan that I uploaded, which will be the same for everybody. Okay. We look forward to your beautiful work. Right, that is the portfolio preparation page. Very, very important. Please read through that before you start on your portfolio. When will the portfolio portals be open? I open the portals for each of the assessments about a month before the due date. That gives you guys plenty of time to go and submit, edit, and do what you'd like to with your submissions. I don't open them earlier for fear of you rushing through the ICT content and not taking your time to absorb each unit in this module. Okay, so I think that covers it for our ECI page. You've got the announcements, which you guys should be receiving emails about, and as you can see, there are many announcements to read through here. Okay, so I encourage you to go and read through the announcements. Very important stuff there. The only other thing to draw your attention to on the page is as we get towards the end of the year, the final assessment will be an online test. That will be written on the 16th of October. On that day only will it be available from midnight to midnight. And you will have 2 hours from the time that you click start on that test until your time runs out. Please be aware of that. The other quizzes for units 1 through 7 are not timed. You can go back to them. You can edit your responses. They'll only be submitted once you press, "Are you sure you'd like to submit this assignment?" and you click on there, and then it will be submitted finally. Okay. Right, let's get on to the prickly issue. The difficult technical task that you've been set for this module is to download 2D Design. You're going to need the software because your 2D Design submission is due 1 week from today. So you've got a week left to get that drawing together. Realistically, it should take you a morning if you put your mind to it, maybe a day, if you're really struggling with the technology. Let's look at how to get the software onto our computers. I would say the place to start is to go to the study units and click on Unit 5, Computer-Aided Design. Everything you need to know about computer-aided design for this module is on this page. There's a little bit of background. There's a note here to say that people who use Apple computers will have to either install Windows 10 or find a computer that has Windows 10 running on it in order to be able to install 2D Design. Okay. There are some videos on YouTube about how to use Boot Camp to install Windows on your Apple device. Right, there is a tutorial about 2D Design generally, and then this line that says, if you don't have 2D Design installed on your computer, please follow this guide. Now, there was a bit of blood, sweat, and tears involved in producing this guide, and Tony Captain, one of our students on this course, yesterday we had a Zoom meeting together, and I discovered that there's another loophole that I now need to patch. I'm going to look at that now. It's a 12-page document. Don't be too scared because much of the space is taken up by pictures, screenshots of my screen as I go through the steps of downloading the software. Okay. The first thing you need to do is to go to find the license page find the license file, I beg your pardon, on the ECI page in the Computer Aided Design unit. Okay, that's where we just come from. So let's go and have a look at that page. I need to click the link and save the file to my desktop. Okay. Now, this is the part of the process that I'm going to need to revise this manual about, or this guide, because when I click on this link, I'll click the wrong one. Try that again. I wanted to click on this link, the license file itself. When I click on this link, I get a beautiful pop-up File Explorer window here that asks me where I would like to save this file. And I can select my desktop, and the file will save to my desktop. Maybe my desktop is under the quick access section here inside the navigation pane. Maybe my desktop is under this PC inside the navigation pane. But I would like to save this file to my desktop, and I'm able to do that, luckily. However, there are some people for whom this pop-up window does not appear, and this is really throwing a spanner into the works, so to speak. So in your case, if you don't get that pop-up, you will click this link, and you will see that your web browser will download this file for you. However, it's not immediately clear where that file has been downloaded to. Now, in most cases, 95% of cases, you will be able to find that file inside your downloads folder. Please, once you've clicked on this link and you see that the link has been downloaded and you've been notified by your web browser that it is available, please don't go and click on that file. You will not be able to open that file. You can see that this file is an LIC file, which is not recognized by any software except for 2D design. So there's no point trying to go and open that file and do anything with it. It will not work. Okay, the instructions inside the guide say, find the file, click the link, save the file to your computer, and then close any File Explorer windows so that you are not confused. Please don't touch the file. Leave it untouched. Do not attempt to open this file. There's no point. Okay. If you are one of those people who's had the file downloaded automatically when you clicked on this link, you can open a File Explorer window and go and find that file now. In your case, I would say it's most likely that it will appear in the Downloads folder for you. Your web browser will have saved it to the Downloads folder automatically. For those few cases where people are not able to find that LIC file, please feel free to send me an email and we can have a Zoom and we can go through and find that file for you on your computer. Okay, so you should be able to go and click on Downloads and go and find your LIC file. It should be inside this folder. Okay, you don't need to open it. That's just a way to see where it is on your computer. Okay, once you know where it is, you can leave it where it is and follow the instructions that say close any File Explorer windows. Okay, so the only thing you should have open on your computer now is this guide. So let's go through the next steps. Okay, the first step after you've got that file onto your computer and are now ignoring it, you're happy that you know where it is on your computer, we can just leave it there for now. The first step after that, step 2, is to go to the TechSoft 2D Design webpage by clicking on this link here. Okay, it's opening now. Here's the page. I want you to create an account, and when you create an account, when you click on this link, it's going to ask you for some basic information. And any field that you see marked with a red asterisk like this, you need to put in your details. Now, it's highly recommended you use your Embry email address here. Okay, it's not obligatory. You don't have to. Whatever email address you enter in here, you must be able to access. This website is going to generate an email and send it to this email address. You will not be able to proceed with this installation without reading that email. So it's very important that you put an email address in here that is current and that you are able to access. Okay, a password. You are going to enter a password that you make up yourself. It must be at least 6 characters. It must have 1 lowercase letter, 1 uppercase letter, and 1 number in it. You're going to enter your details. You can be Mr. Bob Marley, that's fine. You can put in your address here. They need that because they need to provide a receipt of some sort or invoice. Select the category that best describes you. I would say probably a student, and they want that information. You can see by the red asterisk. You can leave out this next part. It's not necessary. And I would suggest that you don't want to receive any emails from TechSoft about training courses, etc. That is up to you. I would leave those empty. You need to then tick the box that says, I'm not a robot, and register. When you click register, this website will then send a link to your email address. And it looks like this. Something like this. This is back on the guide. I'm looking at the guide to download and install 2D Design. We're then going to click on this link inside that email that was sent to us, and that's going to take us back to the TechSoft page, where we can now log into TechSoft as a registered user. Once you've logged in, using that email address, same email address that you signed up with, and the password that you created, you should see a page that looks like this. You want to select TechSoft v2/machine driver downloads. Click on that. Then you want to make sure you select the student version. It can only be the student version. We only have a license for this version of the software. So it must be this link here that you click. When you click on it, it opens up a little drop down on the same page, and it asks you for the license details. It's very important that you type this in exactly as it stands here on the guide. No extra spaces. Don't leave out this word for example. Make sure the number is right. If you don't get any of those details absolutely correct, you're going to get when you press download, you're going to get another page that pops up and says, please try again. You've entered your details incorrectly. Okay. At that point, you don't need to send me an email. You just need to go back to this page and make sure that you have entered your details correctly. This will work. If it doesn't, then you've made a mistake entering this information. It doesn't matter if this text is in uppercase or lowercase. It doesn't matter. Once you've hit download, then select my desktop to place this zip folder that it's going to download. Once again, I am lucky that I get this thing popping up, this File Explorer window to say, where would you like to save? As in step 1, your computer or your web browser might select a folder for you automatically. Maybe it selects the downloads folder and starts immediately downloading this file, the zip folder, into the downloads folder. In which case, you'll need to go and find it there. Okay. So wait for the download to complete. It's 380 megabytes, about there. Okay, so it might take a little while, it might be quick, depending on your internet speed where you are downloading. Once you've downloaded that file, please go and find that file and right-click on it. Right-click on that zip folder and click on Extract All. Okay. If you get other options like WinZip wants to run, or WinRAR, or some other software that you have installed, you can extract it using that software, that's fine. Otherwise, you can double-click on that folder, wherever it might be. Maybe it's on your desktop, if you chose it to be on the desktop. Maybe it's in your downloads folder. You can go and double-click on that zip folder, and you should get something like this. Let me show you where I can find a zip file. So I can just give you an overview. ICT, 2D Design. That wasn't there. Same place every time. I make the same mistake. Here we go. ECI page resources. CAD. I've got a zip file here. Okay. This is might be similar to what the zip file looks like when you download it from the page. I've got two options. I can right-click and I can extract all. That's great. Or I can just select this file and I can hit compressed folder tools at the top. There's another extract all option here. So either way, that's fine. When I click on extract all, I'd like to make sure that this option is ticked. I would like to see these files when I have finished extracting them. Okay. Once you've finished extracting them, you will get a folder that looks like this. And it has a setup.exe or a setup file. You're going to double click on that, and it's going to run through the installation process for you. Okay, you'll just basically click next, 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 until you get to this part here where it says step 20, and we're right near the end now. Sorry, there is one little caveat here. When you say confirm installation and you click next in step 19, you might get a pop-up on your screen that says This app is trying to change something about your computer. Would you like to proceed? You can click yes, it is safe. Right. When you get to the step that says install license, you want to click on install license. And when you click that button, install license, you get this File Explorer window that pops up on your screen. And this File Explorer window is called Load License File. Inside this File Explorer, we are going to go and find that file that we downloaded in the first step. Cool. Okay, I hope you guys saw that all. We're going to go and find that file. So maybe it's on your desktop, I hope it is, in which case you'll select the desktop on the left and you should see that file there. Otherwise, you might have to go use this drop down at the top and look for your downloads folder. If your web browser automatically downloaded this file for you, you're going to have to go and look in your downloads folder and find that 2dstu.lic file. And then click open. Okay. That will automatically fill in the details of the license for your 2D design. And then you click I accept, and then basically you're done. You've got 2D design running. Now, what is the one special circumstance here? Let's see. Oh, I just wanted to mention that we must be careful when selecting this file. By default, this File Explorer window pops open to the 2D design folder. Now, inside that 2D design folder is another file with the same name. Please don't select that file. That license file is the demo version license. You will not be able to save your drawings. You will not be able to export your drawings, etc. with the demo. So we do not want to use the demo version. We must go and find the file that we downloaded in step 1. And the confusion comes in because the names are exactly the same. Why they did that is beyond me. Hopefully that helps those who've been having problems installing the 2D design software. I will have to make some changes to this guide to cover that loophole that we've discovered, that your web browser wants to automatically download the files to its own location, normally the downloads folder. Okay. Right, moving on to the actual task itself. So we've got 15 minutes left now. So let's look at the clock. On the same page, on the ECI page, I'm going to close the guide. I'm done with that now. I'm happy with that. And the TechSoft website, I don't need to refer to that anymore. I've got some very introductory remarks here about 2D design. Press the Windows button on your keyboard, your computer keyboard, and type 2D. That's what I'm doing now. 2D. And there it pops up on my screen, the app that I've just now downloaded and installed onto my computer. Remember, there will be a recording of this video, so you can go back and look back and see how to install the software. And you can slow it down, speed it up, pause, and take your time about digesting this information. So don't worry if I'm going through the information too quickly now. Let's open up 2D design. Okay, mine is slightly different. I've got a slightly different license, but it's very, very small difference. This is what 2D design looks like. And I run through the interface on the ECI page. I say that's how you open it. You'll get the license information coming up first. And then here are the main parts of the screen. You've got a prompt at the top here, which will tell you what you should do. It prompts you about your next steps, your course of action. You've got the left-hand toolbox. It's officially called the Draw Edit toolbox. It's what we refer to as the left-hand toolbox. And then on the right-hand side, you've got the Drawing Aid toolbox, which we commonly refer to as the right-hand side toolbox. Okay. And then obviously you've got the page or representation of a drawing page in the center of the screen. This is called the drawing area. So these are the most important parts of the screen. Okay. We select our main drawing tools from this left-hand toolbox. When we want to draw a circle, we select the draw a circle tool. When we want to enter some text onto a drawing, we select the typing tool. When we want to transform the way something appears in the drawing, we press the transform tool. Okay, so we select our drawing tools here. On the right-hand side, we can zoom, undo things that we've done. We can turn our grid lock on. This is very important. And then also, if you're ever stuck, there is a little help message that comes up in the bottom left corner of the screen too. Because I've selected in this particular screenshot, I've selected draw a circle, it tells me at the bottom here how I can interact with this tool. It says draw a circle with a given center and a radius. Now those are what you choose when you're drawing a circle. You're going to choose the center point of the circle, and you're going to choose how big the circle is going to be. Okay. Now at the bottom of this unit, it says, let's look at how a practical application of this drawing tool and create something useful for our classrooms. Our expert, Mr. Rowan Thompson, my head of department, has prepared a written lesson and a video lesson on how to design a clock. You don't need to follow these steps exactly. This is a lesson on how to draw a clock. You also don't need to answer all of the questions inside this guide. The only task that I'm asking you to perform for this module for ICTE200 is to draw a clock and submit it to this Unit 5 CAD task workshop. Okay. And we're going to submit it as a DTD file, which is the type of file that 2D Design produces automatically. Okay. You can click here to go to the portal to go and submit your clock. What does your clock need to look like? What are the prerequisites or the guidelines? Here they are. Has your page size been set to A4? Okay. Is the clock near the center of the page? It doesn't have to be exactly to the millimeter, but as long as it's not running off the side of the page where we can't see half of the clock. Are you able to read the numbers around the clock? It's very important. We're going to be teaching in primary school situations here. The numbers on the clock are arguably the most important part. So they should be clear, legible for young children. Has only your student number been used as the file name? Don't want to add your name or your surname, just your student number, please. And has there been any effort made to make the clock pleasing to look at? Have you added some texture or some background, something? Have you made your hands a nice size? Have you made the outline of the clock a slightly thicker line? Anything like that where you have added your own personal touch to this clock. Okay. Now, importantly, when you're following along with the lesson that Mr. Thompson has prepared, you'll notice that your version of 2D Design does not allow exporting files in the way that Mr. Thompson shows in his lesson. I'd like to go to 2D Design now and show you how you can export files. You go to the Bitmaps tab here at the top of the 2D Design interface, click on Bitmaps, and you can export as a bitmap here. When you click on that option, you are offered at the bottom drop down here is a number of choices as to the file format that you can choose to export this drawing as. JPEG files are an industry standard, so we use those. Bear in mind that there are two different tasks involving CAD this year. The one that is due a week from now is your clock. That is going to be saved as a DTD file. So I'll draw my clock here. Let's just draw a line that represents my clock. Look at my beautiful clock. And I'm going to save as. What am I saving as? I'm saving as my student number. What is my student number? 19000. I've got the best student number in the world. There you go. I've got my student number. Let me go and save it under ICTE200. Okay. There you go. I've saved my clock now. As beautiful as it is, I'm going to get full marks for this clock, undoubtedly. Now, when I need to go and submit my clock to the portal, I'll just use the shortcut to get there. When I need to submit my clock, I can go and press submit my work. Yes, I must do that before the 30th of May. That's a week from now. I'm going to submit my work. Instructions for submission. I must use this portal. I must submit my clock as a DTD file. Yes, I must use my student number as the file name. Perfect. I must drag and drop my file from a File Explorer window into the space provided near the bottom of the submission screen. Oh, here we go. Add submission. This will take me to the submission screen. Okay, let's go and submit my beautiful clock. Instructions for submission. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Submission content. Hey, you can drag and drop files here. Let me do that. I'm going to open a File Explorer window. I'm going to navigate to where I save my file. Robert's your father's brother. Where is it? It's not here at all. It's a little disappointing. I might have another ICTE200 page or something. There it is. I'm going to grab it with my left mouse click and hold down my mouse. I'm going to drag this thing right into the submission. Bam. Done. I've now submitted my clock. Save changes. So much at ease. Okay, save. Go on. Beautiful. Oh, I have to put in the title. This is my clock. Jimmy's clock. Okay, anything else? Nope, I don't need to put anything else. Save changes. Okay, great. There's my submission. I can edit now. I can go and remove that submission and replace it with another one if I'm not happy. I can delete it completely and start again. So that's up to you guys. You've got another week to do that. Right. The second part of this task, we've completed part one, where we've added our DTD file to the submission portal. That's great. And that is happening before the end of the month, a week from now. Part two, from the 1st to the 15th of June, we're going to look at other people's clocks, and we are going to assess them based on these 5 simple questions. The answers will simply be yes or no. Is the page size set to A4? Yes or no? You're going to tick that on the assessment form. Is the clock centered on the page? Once again, it doesn't have to be pinned perfect to the millimeter. Is it near the center? Are you able to read the numbers around the clock? Yes or no? Has only the student number been used? Yes, absolutely. This guy is a fantastic student. Has there been any effort made? Well, let's go and have a look. I have to download his clock onto my computer. That's fine. I'm going to go and download it onto the desktop. Once again, my browser allows me to choose where to put that file. Maybe yours wants to automatically put it into a downloads folder, irritatingly. So I will save it there onto my desktop, and then I will open that. And what do you know? It opens that file inside 2D Design because it is a 2D Design file. Now, this guy's put a lot of work into his clock, so I'm going to give him a big yes on that last question. Has there been any effort made to make the clock pleasing to look at? Yes, yes, and yes again. Now, the clock itself, let's go and have a look at that. We have 5 minutes left. Okay, some basic things, guys. Select what type of tool you want here on the left. I know that the clock starts with a couple of circles. I've got something on the page I don't want, so I'm going to use my select tool here, the first tool in the toolbox. Select that thing, and I'm going to press the delete button on my keyboard, make it go away. The next tool I want is a circle. I'd like to draw a circle. But I don't want to draw the circle willy-nilly on the page. You can see my cursor is allowed to roam freely now over this drawing area. I would like to be precise, so I'm going to put my grid lock on, and you'll see now that I'm not able to move my cursor between these dots. It snaps my cursor to a certain position on the page, which is good. I know an A4 page is my page set to A4, setup, drawing. What is it? Canvas, layout. It is set to A3. I need to change that. A4. Bam. Okay, good. Right. Let's go and start my circle in the center of the page. How tall is this page? This page is 210, and you can see by the absolute values in the bottom left corner of the interface here, their numbers will appear as coordinates as I move my cursor around. So I'm going to go to the center of the page, and the prompt tells me, locate the center of my circle. So that's the first thing. Locate the center. I'm going to click on my left mouse button, let go, and then I'm going to move my mouse, and Robert's your father's brother. It creates a beautiful circle for me. I'm going to click again, and I've now got a circle on my page. Okay, so that's how the interface works, pretty in a nutshell. Let's put some text onto my clock. I want to put in the numbers, for example. 12, yes, it's not where I want it. Let's use the select tool to select that 12 and move it by clicking on the center square and moving it to where I want it to go. Okay, I would like to have numbers all around my screen now. Sure, I'm running out of time, as I knew I would. I'm going to use the transform tool, hold down my mouse button, and rotate this object around the circle. Now, a circle has 360 degrees, so I want to repeat this 11 times. I've got it once, I need 11 more, and I need the angle of rotation to be 30 degrees, because 360 degrees divided by the 12 points on the clock will give me 30 degrees. Where is the center? Why has it not done it? Because I haven't located the center of my rotation. My prompt is telling me what to do. Where is the center? There? Oh, beautiful. Oh, what happened now? I clicked again, and look at all of this. I've got this another array of 12s here. I don't want that. I'm going to undo the last thing that I did, clicking on undo last. They go away. I hope this has been helpful for you. Any other questions, please feel free to email me, put up a question on the discussion forum, or a message on ECI. Okay. Are there any questions that any of you guys have now? We've got just a couple of minutes left. Let's have a look at the chat.
Students, if you'd like to interact and leave a question, you've got a couple of options available to you. If you'd like to be a part of this session by using your microphone and or webcam on your device, please use the raise hand button and we'll be able to allow you to interact. Otherwise, you've got the chat feature and the Q&A features which are available to you. The chat feature is a nice way to send a message or a comment, while the Q&A feature will allow you to do the same, but additionally, if you are shy, it will allow you to do so anonymously. Tony, I've had a look on the YouTube channel. We've got a couple of users watching, but no questions or comments. I see Precious has asked, she's raised her hand, she's asked to ask a question, so let's say good morning to Precious. Good morning, Precious. Please unmute your microphone and we'll be able to hear you.
Good morning. Morning,
Good
everyone.
morning. Hi.
Yes. My question is, when I try to save my TD, it appears with the letter E for the internet. It does not show 2D something something. So I'm confused. I don't know if maybe I did something wrong on my laptop.
I understand your question. I think when it's downloaded, let's go and have a look. It'll save it and it'll come up on the screen at the bottom here and it'll say 2dstu.lic. And your computer will try and recognize that file and try and allocate it software to open. You don't need to worry about 2dstu.lic. That file you don't need to try and open at all. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
So don't worry about that file. Just go through the rest of the steps in the let's see if we can find them quickly. I know I'm out of time now. I'm actually over time. Let's, inside the computer-aided design, where it's got the guide, very briefly. Step 1 says, I presume you're talking about this file here, this 2dstu.lic. That is the file that you don't need. You don't need to try and open that file. You don't need to touch it at all. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. I think that's all the time we have for people for today. I will see you again soon. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for watching. And go and watch the video at your own leisure on YouTube.
Tony, thank you so much for a very informative session.
You're welcome. Thank you, Simon. Cheers, everybody.
Have a lovely day.